Hello and welcome to week 12 of the regular NFL season. And we are in week 12 of Who You Got. Today, we are picking our picks for tomorrow. We are recording as of Saturday, the night before Games Eve. I don't know what else to call it, but we are here. We're here.
I'm glad you didn't finish that because you were about to allude to a Family Guy quote that definitely would not have sounded great.
No.
If you kept going there.
Sam, why don't you go ahead and tell them why we are recording at this time?
Yep. So, I mean, we just weren't able to meet before the Thursday night game. We just had some conflicts in our schedule. You know, we're both busy guys, and we just weren't able to meet before then. Things happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to just chalk that up as a loss for both of us, which kind of makes sense because, honestly, we probably both would have picked the Steelers for that game anyway, and they got upset by the Browns. But it was cool to see because, I don't know, Jameis Winston, he's always fun to listen to and fun to watch. And he just seemed like a little kid out there playing in the snow and winning a big game over their division rival, the Steelers. So, yeah, that's just going to be a loss for both of us. So we're both 0-1 on the week. And, yeah, that's essentially what's going on here. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but that's the situation. So things happen. So don't care. Still comment.
Don't care. If you notice, we have a different color in the room. We're just trying some new things, see what people think, what they like.
If you like orange, say something. If you don't like orange, say something.
Well, maybe every week we're gonna change the color. Since I put up these lights, I think we're a little creative, and you don't see.
I like orange.
We're not making it red. That's for damn sure.
Why not?
Some people might take that out of the context.
Hey, it could be red. I mean, hey, Huskers just got a big win over Wisconsin. We're going bowling
for the first time, over 10 years.
First time since 2016. I think it's been like 7. It's been 8 years. Yeah,
close enough. It feels like it's 20.
It's been crazy, man. But what a big win. Our offense looked the best it's looked all year. Most points we've scored all year.
We looked
really
like
good win.
The first game.
Yeah, better, honestly. We're playing Wisconsin, not UTEP. So,
but however, let's move on from college football. This is NFL talk. NFL news wise,
from last week.
Yeah. So, or through the week, I guess. I mean, a lot has happened, and we're here now. So, the Jets, they fired their GM. Now they're talking about cutting Aaron Rodgers, which is a no surprise. I think we both think that he should probably retire, but it'd be wild if he goes to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about him going to the Vikings, which would be crazy because Brett Favre did the same thing. He went and played for the Jets, then he went and played for the Vikings after he left the Packers, and it sounds like, and then the theory behind that is that Sam Darnold, you know, while his play has started to taper down a little bit, he's played good enough this year to, you know, want a bigger contract by a different team going into next year. Because obviously, the Vikings aren't going to pay Sam Darnold when they have J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wing. So you know he's going to want a bigger contract somewhere else, go make more money, get a bigger opportunity. But on that same token, like, who knows if J.J. McCarthy's going to be ready next season? So they could want to go get Aaron Rodgers because it's looking like the Jets are probably going to cut him after this year and move on and completely start from square one. So it'd be interesting to see. I would hate it. I would really hate it a lot. But because I feel, man, I don't know, man. Just thinking of, like, the more I think about it, the more upset about it I get.
There's also been talks of Dion trying to maybe go to, it's not him trying, but a lot of people are hyping
rumors.
There's a lot of hype on against Dion going to the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, there's hype about them tanking the rest of the year and drafting Shedeur Sanders and then hiring Deion Sanders as their head coach. And moving on from Dak and drafting Shedeur Sanders.
All right.
Pretty crazy, but
I've said it on our podcast. I've said on this. Not a big fan of Dak, but you know what? I'll be honest. Like, that's fucked up. Like, I feel bad for the guy. Like, I mean, it happens. It happens in the league. Nothing we can really do about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jerry, let's be honest. I keep saying this. Jerry's the problem in Dallas. Always will be until the old kook retires. Let's be honest.
Honestly, I feel bad for Mike McCarthy.
He's a pretty decent coach.
He's a good coach. He's outside of Vince Lombardi, he's the second winningest coach in Packers history. And he won a Super Bowl.
Yes.
A lot of those seasons towards the end in Aaron Rodgers' prime, he was being carried by the greatness of Aaron Rodgers. But 3 straight back-to-back 12-win seasons with the Cowboys, and I mean, this is really his second bad year with the Cowboys. His first one, Dak got hurt also, but it's his second, but his first in a long time bad year with the Cowboys, and he's probably going to get fired at the end of the season or before that.
Either he'll go to another team or he'll just retire.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, speaking of coaches, he's being looked at by 3 teams right now. Again, Dallas is one of them, Jaguars, and I can't remember the third one.
Wait, you said Dolphins was one of them?
No, I said Jaguars. I said Dallas.
Dallas, okay.
Dallas. I can't remember the third one, but
I could definitely see Jaguars because Doug Peterson, his first year there, he took him to the playoffs, hasn't been good since, and they're kind of wasting
Trevor Lawrence's career.
Yeah, they're wasting Trevor Lawrence's career because he should be doing a lot better than he has so far in his career. Before we move on to our picks for this week, what's something you can just briefly summarize from the Lions after their last week's win and just kind of a summary of their season so far?
Biased or unbiased?
You can go both.
Unbiased, I think we're for real this year.
Yeah.
Do I see us losing another game this year? Yes. They're flexing. They're talking about flexing the Bills game. That's gonna be a big old true test, and we're at home.
That could be your potential Super Bowl preview right there. I think that's the Super Bowl everyone wants to see.
Everyone's still bandwagoning
Lions, Bills.
Yeah, everyone's still bandwagoning the Chiefs.
I've been seeing these memes saying the Super Bowl everyone wants, and it's Lions Steelers, and I'm like, don't no one want to see the Steelers in the Super Bowl?
Well, it's like since when are the Steelers that good?
The Steelers have 6 rings already, man. No one wants to see the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Plus, that's like saying the Chiefs.
No one wants to see Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl. He's had a good career resurgence in Pittsburgh, but no one wants to see the Steelers in the Super Bowl. I'd rather see Buffalo in the Super Bowl than Pittsburgh.
Other than that, we're playing great.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, and enter me as a fan, I don't want him to leave, but I think he'd be well off his own. Buddy of ours, Brody, thinks he'd be great in Cincinnati. Get rid of Zach Taylor, unfortunately. And pick up Chicago coach Matt as their OC.
Matt Eberflus.
Either OC or DC. So shout out to you, Brody.
For my Packers, we won a close game last week over division rival Bears. And a win is a win. I don't care how close it was. I don't care how not pretty it was. I was not shitting bricks, Zach, on that blocked field goal before that block. Okay. We still own the Bears. But I will say if this season has taught us Packer fans anything, it's that Jordan Love still has a long ways to go. He still has a lot of growing to do.
I'll say this, I think I don't think he's don't write him off yet.
No. I am not. I am not at all writing him off. I'm
not saying you, but I'm saying in general, right. There's a lot of people who going into this year who thought Jordan Love's gonna be MVP.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you and Brody were kind of that way. It's like, okay, hold on.
I'm not going full blown Vance and saying Jordan Love is trash.
Right.
But I'm also, I was never on that hype train of Jordan Love's gonna win MVP. I was I like him. He's got a lot of talent. He had a great first year as a starter. But let's see how it goes. That doesn't mean he's going to come out and be an MVP right away. There's going to be growing pains. Obviously, we've seen that this year. We've seen he struggles with injuries. We've seen he's turnover prone at times. He's a bit of a gunslinger. But He still has all the talent. I still am a believer. I still think he can get it done. I still think he's the future face of the franchise, but he's got a lot of work to do. Unlike what a lot of Packers fans probably thought going into this year. They thought he was already accomplished after 1 year as a starter. He's got a lot of work to do. So let's pump the brakes on that a little bit.
All right. So let's go ahead and get into Week 12 games. Again, we're not doing the Browns and the Steelers because we missed it.
We'll both just write that off as a loss for us. So Browns won.
Great game.
So the next game is
classic snow game for sure.
Texans Titans.
I'm definitely going with the Texans on that one. It's a pretty easy cakewalk on that. Another team that Aaron Rodgers is surprisingly linked to.
The Titans.
Yeah, out of every team, Titans. A lot of people are linking him to
He would not go there. They don't have the pieces in place for an old quarterback to want to go there.
Did you know they're building their new stadium right next to their current one?
I did not.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe if they still had Derrick Henry, he might want to go there.
It's another team that fell to the dome. They don't need a dome.
Texans easily for this one as well. They're at home. No, they haven't been quite as. I guess they haven't really been quite as explosive as they were last year. But I think C.J. Stroud's still one of the best young quarterbacks in the league.
He had kind of a down week a couple weeks there.
He's had a kind of a bumpy second year, but he's consistent enough, and he played terribly against my Packers, but that's another story. Titans are one of the worst teams in the league this year, though. And I think Will Levis is a bust. And Texans win easily in this one. Easily. Next one is Vikings at Bears.
I think, I hate to admit this, and I'm not saying this because I don't like the Viking people or the team itself. I think the Bears are fired up from last week's game. They know they almost got done against the Green Bay Packers. I think Caleb's going to go in there and do pretty well for himself. So, I mean, I think it'd be a good game for Caleb Williams to bounce back off last week's loss against the Packers. However, Vikings are still playing all right. I think it'd be a close contested game another week in the NFC North, obviously. But again, going with the Cubs. I know they're Cubs, but they're a young team.
There's definitely a chance. I mean, the Bears could definitely upset them being at home. Caleb Williams just coming out and balling out. But I truly think the Vikings overall just have a better team. And as long as Sam Darnold doesn't turn it over a bunch, he's had a few games this year where he's been pretty turnover prone. If he just comes out there, manages the game, gets the ball to his playmakers, and the Vikings just do their thing, I think the Vikings will win pretty easily. I mean, it won't be a cakewalk by any means, but they'll win pretty decisively. I think if Sam Darnold just limits the mistakes.
Next game is a rivalry game.
NFC East rivalry, Cowboys at Commanders. Commanders win easily. They win easily. Cowboys are trash. That's all I got to say. Even though the Commanders have lost a couple in a row, the Cowboys are trash. The Cowboys are doing Cowboys things, and the Commanders are going to win this one. They'll bounce back.
We got another one going into kind of like a rivalry-ish. Not official.
The next one?
Yeah.
AFC East.
It's not really official, like an official one, but
it's a rivalry. It's their AFC East division.
Dolphins versus the Patriots at home at Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins. That's another coach kind of game of if you win, you save your job a little bit, more job security. You lose, you're losing a lot of job security. I don't think Mike is. No, I don't think Stephen Ross is gonna.
Mike McDaniel's not on the hot seat.
You don't think so?
And I think the Dolphins have looked so much better since Tua's been back. Their offense, like their whole team just plays better and more inspired when Tua Tagovailoa is healthy for whatever reason.
Yeah,
he must just be a great leader.
What I'm saying is though is if they somehow lose, then it's gonna really hurt him. But we all know that if Patriots lose, it's not going to help Gerard Mayo at all.
Yeah, I think Gerard Mayo's gone after this year. But Patriots are trash. Dolphins win this one easily.
Next game, Chiefs at the Panthers.
Chiefs easily.
Easily Chiefs.
Yeah. There was talk a few weeks ago that Bryce Young was going to end their undefeated season, and it's just not going to happen, man. Sorry.
Next game will be. Did you give your pick? Yeah, you did. Buccaneers at New York Giants.
Bucks easy.
Now, can we just talk about why in the hell did they pick Tommy DeVito over Drew Lock?
That is weird to me. Like
That
I
feels like,
I understand benching Daniel Jones and then cutting him. Also, we didn't really talk about that yet. There's another elephant in the room. Daniel Jones no longer
other
New York
than me,
Giants.
right?
He actually I didn't say it. You said it.
I know.
Daniel Jones actually asked to be released too, and they granted that wish.
Yeah.
For him. But yeah, it's weird that they're going with Tommy DeVito over Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, I mean, I think he had a good little backup career in Seattle.
Yeah.
I think he's probably grown up ever since Denver in that trade to Seattle. I'm going to have to go with the Buccaneers, unfortunately. I think Tommy DeVito is going to flop in that game severely.
He will. He'll struggle mightily. Buccaneers defense is going to make Tommy DeVito look silly out there.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Lock will play by the end of that game. Whether it's Tommy DeVito getting injured or getting benched just because he's trash, Drew Lock will play by the end of that game and will probably be the starter going into the following weeks. But yeah, Baker Mayfield's going to light it up. Buccaneers win. Lions at Colts. Colts are coming off a good win over the Jets. Anthony Richardson maybe had his best game passing of his whole career that game.
I'm sure that benching has really fired him up.
Probably. That said, the Lions are going to win this game. They are far and away. That my personal opinion. Lions are the best team in the league right now.
I'm so glad I'm recording this.
And honestly, if I was to pick the NFC Championship game today, it'd be Lions versus Eagles for the NFC Championship.
That would be a good must-watch.
Eagles look good right now.
They had a tough start.
They did, and
Really?
their game's coming up here pretty soon. But yeah, Lions win it.
Obviously, I'm going with the Lions. I mean, today, like I mentioned earlier today, is like, man, I don't know. Something tells me.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah,
something tells me, but
could be a trap game. But they'll take care of business.
I think we'll struggle a little bit, and then once we finally, because we're still battling a lot of defensive injuries right now. So
yeah.
Losing Anzalone last week, that was a big loss. But hey, we gained back Malcolm Rodriguez, a good backup for Anzalone. He goes in there, it does well.
Mm-hmm.
Second game for Zadarius Smith, played pretty good last week. I like Brody all again. Brody said, curious to what kind of Smith we're gonna get.
Yeah,
I think we got Green Bay Smith. So
he's a good edge rusher, man.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos at Raiders. Broncos win easily, cakewalk. Easy Broncos dub. Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league this year. They don't know their quarterback situation. Their defense has been trash. They don't have a true number one receiver. They don't have a good starting running back. They don't have anything. Broncos win easily.
Broncos, they're playing pretty well. The Broncos seem like, like we said last week, Sean Payton and Bo Nix, they're going together like ketchup and mustard right now. So
yeah, peanut butter and jelly,
peanut butter and jam, shake and bake, baby.
Cheeseburger French fry.
That's gonna be a big old blowout. So we don't need to keep talking about that. We know who's gonna win that one. Now we got the Cardinals at the Seahawks. Cardinals are playing not bad. Seahawks, still hit and miss, but hey, they're playing pretty good. Geno Smith, he might be old, but he's still getting it done.
NFC West rivalry game here, man.
A big one.
Seahawks are coming off a big win against the 49ers, but the Cardinals are currently in the lead in that division. Kyler Murray's playing really good this year, and Cardinals win this one, in my opinion.
I'm also going to have to go with the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray he's fired up this year. He's finally getting off that Call of Duty game, even though Black Ops 6 just came out.
He
said, I'm going to wait until the season over this time, dog.
Did you see the video of him eating pizza with like some random guy? And the guy didn't even know who he was.
No.
That was funny. You have to check it out.
I will.
Check out that video, viewers. 49ers at Packers. This one is a revenge game of last year NFC divisional round. I hate the 49ers. I hate you guys. I do. Luckily, Brock Purdy's not playing. George Kittle's not playing. So we're gonna have an advantage there.
It's like earlier today I said, dude, you guys might have a good game, but somehow you guys are gonna make it a dogfight. With their backup.
We don't have a terrible history against them in the regular season. It's in the playoffs where they always beat us. Exactly. Plus, it's at home. It's at Lambeau. You know, we're 7-3. I think they're 5-5. It'll be a tough game. It always is against them. It always is against them. It never fails. But I got to roll with my Packers, man.
I got to be honest. I think this is a coach game for Kyle Shanahan. I think if he loses, it's going to really hurt him. I think a lot of fans are slowly starting to call for his head.
Really? Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah. It seems like a lot of people are getting tired. Like, dude, it's like they're saying, like, oh, we've gotten this far, but we can't get it done in the Super Bowl.
I'll tell you this right now. If the 49ers fire Kyle Shanahan, they will be terrible for years.
Yeah. But I'm just seeing what I see, and I'm just relying it to you guys. So, I mean, I could be the dumbass here, obviously. But yeah,
a lot of teams I would like to have Kyle Shanahan as their head coach.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of leaning towards the 49ers because...
Go with the 49ers then, dude.
Well...
Do it then. Do it.
I know...
Lose this week because you picked the 49ers over my Packers.
I know the Packers
do it now.
Are good. But who's their backup for the 49ers?
Brandon Allen is starting. I thought it was Joshua.
I'm going Packers.
I thought it was Josh Dobbs. I thought they signed Josh Dobbs this offseason.
I did too.
But no, they're starting Brandon Allen.
I'm going with
Plus,
Packers.
they don't have Kittle. You're going with the Niners?
No, Packers.
Okay. What do we even have different so far, dude?
Bears.
Oh, Bears, Vikings. That's it, huh?
Yeah.
I like what you put for the Commanders.
Come.
All right. Eagles, Rams, Eagles. Rams have been playing pretty good lately. You know, Stafford's doing his thing.
Old man thing.
But Saquon Barkley is just on another level this year for the Eagles. He is, honestly, in my opinion, Saquon Barkley is my front runner for MVP right now. He is. He's playing that good. He is the focal point of. He's the focal point of that Eagles offense right now.
Did you know they added the back jump, back hurdle over in Madden already?
Did they really?
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, Rams are playing okay. Eagles, it's between them and the Lions for best team in the NFC. I'd say Eagles are probably second, but still, Eagles win this.
I'm going with the Eagles easily on this one. I think old man Stafford is still pretty good, but he's not good enough to beat the Eagles this year. That defense, the offense, they got Nakua, they got Rush,
not
Rush, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper
Rush.
The quarterback. You're thinking of the other Cooper.
I do this about every week.
That's the Sunday night game, by the way.
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna go with the Eagles, like I said, but there's so much.
The Monday night game is gonna be a good one, though. Ravens at Chargers. The Harbaugh brothers going head to head.
I'm leaning towards the Chargers, brother. I think
if you pick Chargers, we got to do a tiebreaker then for the score. Yep, because that's our second one different. So it's up to you, brother, because I pick Ravens. I think it's going to be a great game to finish out the week on Monday Night Football. But the Ravens, last week, they lost a close one to the Steelers. They're going to be coming in pissed off. Chargers got a dub over the Bengals last week, but Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, they're going to come out there. I think they're going to play some really good games. They win a close one over the Chargers on Monday night in L.A. Ravens, take it.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the Ravens as well.
Oh, that's just because you don't want to do the tiebreaker, my man.
You hate tiebreakers too?
All right. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Pick who you truly want. Ravens or Chargers? You want Ravens?
Oh.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I'm surprised the game ain't promoted as much as it should be.
You got Lamar versus Justin Herbert.
Harbaugh
you got
Harbaugh.
You got J.K. Dobbins versus his former team, the Ravens.
Yep.
There's some interesting storylines here.
Yep.
And that's probably what, I mean, it's Monday night, so it's like
prime time.
The final game of the week. I mean, there's going to be a lot of publicity around it, but I got to go Ravens, man. They're going to be hungry for a win after losing to the Steelers, who I feel like the Steelers are a little fraudulent, maybe, especially after losing to the Browns. They've lost 3 games this year against bad quarterbacks. Well, Jameis Winston isn't bad, but they've also lost to Dak. They lost to another kind of bad quarterback. Oh, and Joe Flacco. They've lost to Flacco, Dak, and Jameis Winston this year. Weird.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like their defense is a little fraudulent, and their offense is hit and miss with Russ. Hitting. Kind of like this, but not like this.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, a little Captain Morgan drink there. I mean,
Buffalo
Coke.
Trace.
A little bit of Coke drink.
Coke.
We don't do alcohol around here.
Yeah,
You can't see it. Please sponsor us.
But yeah, we didn't talk about this, but I did lose last week, hence the clown shirt. I am now dropped to 4-6. No, 4-7. Kale is 7-4.
Yikes.
And
I'm 1 game over you in overall.
I know, that's crazy, isn't it? Like, that's crazy how really in the grand scheme of things, we're not that far apart. But in overall record, like not overall record, but week to week record, he's beat me by 3 weeks, 3 wins. You don't know football that much better than me.
Oh, obviously, you don't.
Your week to week record doesn't mean anything compared to the overall record, which you beat me by 1. We were tied last week.
One schmund.
No, actually,
one schmund. I know more.
Yeah. Guess what? We were tied last week, so suck those eggs.
We were, but I still know football.
I know football.
Better call me Mr. Johnny Football.
Nope, not doing that.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. Anyway, we're going to close this out. Any final thoughts on this week's NFL?
There's some good games this week. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Go Huskers. Go Packers. Fuck the Lions. No, I'm kidding. Lions are good.
Do you want me to rewind back to what you said earlier about how they were?
Fuck the Vikings. Fuck the Bears. Fuck the Cowboys. Fuck the 49ers.
You know what? Fuck the NFL, except for a couple teams. How about that? So anyway, we're going to close this out. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to listen to our podcast. We come out with an episode every Monday now, sometime in the morning, about, I think, at 8 o'clock now. 8 o'clock in the morning usually is when I'm trying to get them out. If not, it'll be sometime during the day. Don't forget to check out all of Agent Life Media. Don't forget to check out Talking Dirt, Uses Assumptions, Touching Base.
Check out that TNT Boys.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias at the TNT Boys Podcast. Now, if you search us and some weird music group shows up, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place, buddy. Go ahead and check us out.
And, hey, I don't know if you checked it out. We got a new little short series on our shorts and TikTok called Let's Talk About It. If you have something you want to go on to be talked about, that's a hot take on Let's Talk About It, shoot us a DM or comment.
Or anything else you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
For an episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Peace out. Bye.
Now, who do you got?